that all about?
Oh, nothing. Except they somehow managed to get every creep and freak in the universe onto this one plane. And then somehow managed to let them take it over. And then somehow managed to stick us right smack in the middle.
Badway, I got some great news for you.
Oh, yeah?
I have a round-trip ticket to Hawaii for you.
Oh.
Free, 100% free, except you got to go on Con Air, and you got to sit next to Pinball with a full lighter fluid packet.
Dave Chappelle's a funny guy.
But he could light you on fire.
But, like, if I know it's coming, I could maybe block it, you know?
he lights someone else on fire instead?
I don't
like
know.
Steve Buscemi?
I could whisper and be like, listen, dude, I know what you're about to do. Don't do, turn to your right. Turn to your right, dude.
Real talk. Are you going on this plane? You're unrestrained. You're restrained and they're not.
So if I could fly anywhere in the world for free, but it had to be with the criminals,
yes,
I would do it.
As long as
Absolutely.
you survive.
100%.
If you survive.
I would take the risk. I mean, I'll take no guarantees. As long as I'm not sitting next to Steve Buscemi. Like, no offense, Steve Buscemi. He's got, like, the tooth thing going on. Looks like he has, like, 24/7 bad breath.
He does.
Even, like, right after he brushes his teeth, the halitosis spin.
He does.
Yeah.
He looks so weird.
No offense, Steve Buscemi, if you're out there, listen to our podcast.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. Who's the most famous person to ever listen to our podcast? Is it the dude from Roadhouse?
Yes.
We don't
Yeah,
even know
Marshall
if
T.
Yeah, we don't know if he listened, but he did tweet us one time.
Marshall T.
That's our claim to fame.
He's a fan of the show. He follows us on Twitter.
man.
What can you say, man?
Yep.
This is the Last Row Podcast. My name's Drew, as always, joined by my friend, frequent flyer, and life partner, risky flyer, Mr. Badway. What's going on, Badway?
Not much, man. Good to be here.
Our website, thelastrow.podcast.com. We are on Twitter at The Last Row Pod, Facebook.com/The Last Row Pod. Smash that like button. Leave us an iTunes/Apple Podcast review if you haven't done so. Thanks, everybody that's taken the time out of your day and left us one.
iTunes is beat.
Put a big smile on our face. What's going on, Badway?
Oh, what's going on? It's Con Air, Drew.
Are you feeling risky right now?
Totally risky, man. Listen, Con Air on the repeat viewing, so good, right?
This movie is awesome.
I gotta admit, like I think I say this same line in every show and every intro. I was kind of dreading watching it because I was like, oh man, Con Air, we're doing this again.
It's
like
2 hours too.
See the movie a million times. I was like, all right, hopefully I don't fall asleep. The first 5 minutes I was in.
Yeah.
Totally in.
So good.
And of course it's great. It's awesome.
You know what got me? When Cage walks out and shakes his hair.
Oh
and,
yeah,
and
straight off the bus.
Gets the sunlight on his
Yeah.
face. That's when I was just fully in.
And he's like, he knows he's getting out. That's good acting right there, right?
Let me tell you, I
good
know
acting.
that we got a request to do this movie from multiple people.
Yeah.
A friend Kelly, listener of the podcast,
Yep.
friend, she requested this. I knew Dave, our favorite listener, Dave, was just
Yep.
in his glory while
So-
we were watching this.
Is there pressure to do a good job and be a good episode? Because if this
I think
episode
so.
sucks, we're going to lose some friends
And listeners.
and listeners. No, well, we always lose listeners, but we'll
Would
lose
you rather
friends, too.
would you rather lose a friend or a listener?
I'd rather lose a friend.
Me too.
Yeah. If I could lose a friend but gain 5 listeners,
Would you take it?
well, how many listeners per friend would you cut? Right? So it depends on how good the friend is, right?
That's very
Like
true.
how many listeners would it take for you to like cut off all contact with me except for when we do the podcast?
So it's like a purely business
Yes.
relationship.
So it's all business.
So if we were making let's say we had 5 million downloads an
Yeah,
episode.
it would have to be in the millions, right?
Yeah, probably.
Otherwise, it's not worth it.
So
But I would do it. I'd cut you right
I
out.
see where.
Con Air, 1994. Thriller / action / airplane hijack movie. That's not real.
Yeah, it's definitely real.
You made that
I may have written that.
Two on the button. Directed by Simon West. Do you know what Simon West did?
What he did some other action.
He did
movies,
Tomb
right?
Raider. The first Tomb Raider.
What about the second one?
No.
I enjoyed the first Tomb Raider.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's not great.
It's
It's all
all
right.
If I never watch it again, it'll be fine.
Pretty sure Jorah Mormont's in that movie.
Oh, he totally is in it. Is he the second one has Dominic West.
Daniel Craig.
Dominic West.
Daniel Craig's in it
Daniel
too.
Craig?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Do you think Dominic West is related to this other guy?
Probably.
Simon West?
Probably.
Simon
His
West.
cousin.
Simon West also did Expendables 2. Oh, the greatest of all Expendables.
Let me tell you about Expendables 2 right now. I know we're not reviewing that right now,
Yeah.
but that is one of the best movies because Van Damme is one of the best villains of all time.
What
in
if
any movie.
we stopped doing Con Air right now, kept the microphones on, popped in Expendables 2, and just did a live
commentary?
episode watching of Expendables 2?
And when we post this episode to the
Yeah.
feed, we'll call it Con Air.
Con Air, yeah, people will be totally confused. but we're not going to do
I don't
that.
think we should do that.
All right, IMDb 6.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomato 56%.
Way too low.
Too low. Metacritic 52%.
Way too low.
Way too low. So we're going. So when I read the synopsis, I'm going to do my best Cameron Poe, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana impersonation. Is that okay?
This could go one of two ways.
Is that okay with the listeners? Yeah,
Hey,
they said
I'm
okay.
okay with
They
it.
said it's okay. Just paroled Army Ranger Cameron Poe is headed back to his wife, but must fly home aboard prison transport flight dubbed Jailboyd,
Boyd?
with some of the with some of the worst criminals living. Along with Diamond Dog and Baby O, genius serial killer Cyrus the Virus Grissom unleashes a violent escape plot mid-flight. Secretly working with the U.S. Marshal Vince Larkin, Poe tries to foil Grissom's plan.
First off, hold on.
Rated R.
2 comments. First off, you sounded like the water boy. Second off,
Not planned. Not planned.
the name Vince Larkin is made to be said with a southern accent.
Larkin.
Vince Larkin.
Vince Larkin.
That name is it was made to be said
Yeah.
like the water boy.
You're right. Waterboy was in there. A little Dusty Rhodes is in there as well. Not planned. Not planned.
Don't try to recreate Academy Award winning best outstanding actor in a film,
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage there.
So, all right, let's move on. We'll forget that never happened.
So before we jump into a little bit of the financials, I take out your checkbook. I want to tell you a little bit about the taglines. We started doing this in the past couple episodes. I'm going to run right through here.
All right.
You tell me which one is the best.
Rapid reaction.
And if any of them should even be on the poster.
Rapid
Ready?
reaction.
All right. Con Air, : They were deadly on the ground. Now they have wings.
Not bad, but still terrible. No.
Con Air, : Welcome to Con Air.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Simple but effective.
Con Air, : Buckle up,
Come on.
with an exclamation point in the end.
Come on, buddy.
You don't really buckle. I mean,
No.
I feel like you put a seatbelt on in the plane. Like, come on, let's be
What
serious.
if planes
that plane
had
goes
like
down,
the
you're dead.
harness with like a roller coaster?
Yeah,
Like what if they had those?
so that you can't get out and go to the bathroom.
No.
You need everyone to piss in their seat.
Yeah, no, you got like forget it.
We can't go there.
Like my weird mind is not ready for this. Let's just move on.
All right, Con Air, get ready to fly.
No, hell no.
That's really weak.
Terrible.
Con Air, one wrong flight can ruin your whole day.
No.
It's not a commercial flight.
Yeah, one wrong flight. It's like people flying every day? Or get on the wrong flight?
All right, I got
people go on multiple flights per day. That's what that's implying. No, move on.
I got the winner here.
All right,
Con Air, a Jerry Bruckheimer production.
I'm in.
That's
Jerry Bruckheimer.
you put that name on
Butts
there.
in seats.
I mean, that sets the tone of the film.
So the winner by default is just simply Welcome to Con Air.
Yeah.
Right, but it's still not
Probably.
good.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Real quick,
I can think of a better one. By the end of this episode, I will think of a better one.
Rack
I can't
your brain.
Think of one right now.
rack your brain in the outro. We'll go over your ideas.
Crime flies when you're having fun.
Terrible.
Not good.
Not good.
Better than those though.
All right, take your checkbook out. I'm going to give you $75 million.
Thank you.
You're going to make this movie.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I don't know anything about making movies. I'll
You're
blow
gonna
it
make
like
this movie.
I'll blow it like Billy Walsh and Minnie Ian, man. I don't know what to do with the money.
Actually, here, I'll take that back. You give me $75 million.
I'll give you $75 million.
I'm going to make this movie like it is. Do you feel that you got a return on your investment if I told you that it made $224 million back?
Absolutely. I mean, it's obviously a huge success.
Do you think that the movie looked like it was worth $75 million?
Yeah, I thought it was more actually, right?
Yeah, it looked like it was more.
I guess $75 back in 1996 is, I don't know. I don't
75 mil?
I don't do conversions.
We got to do the inflation.
I don't do
I
inflation.
don't have time to pause this and look it up.
Yeah, but yeah, no, totally worth it. Obviously, I thought the effects were kind of like, you know, even for 90s standards, like some of the explosions were a little
I'll tell you what was bad.
semi crappy.
That opening title sequence was pretty bad.
Dude, it came out of nowhere.
It looked like it was in that. Did you ever play that game? It was what's it called? It's the Aerosmith rail shooter from the arcade back in the day. What the hell is that called?
I don't know what it was called.
Do you
but
know
I
what I'm
it.
talking about?
Yeah, I know
the
it.
one where it's basically the Terminator 2 game, but
Yeah.
it's Aerosmith.
No, yeah, I know. What
Like
you're
I
talking
don't know
about.
why that game existed, but it looked
What
like
kind of deal did they have?
it looked like the
Have a video-
font of that. And like, what are you shooting? Like
Yeah.
you're shooting people on the stage, shooting roadies?
Yeah, I don't
like,
know, man.
I need to go back and look that game up. But that's what the title sequence looked like. It looked like the Aerosmith rail shooter.
Yeah, yeah.
Bad graphics.
That's a deep cut right there.
They
So what a
spent-
pull by you.
they
the
spent-
Aerosmith video game.
I don't know. Does anyone know what that is?
I
If you
knew it right
do,
away, but you know, I don't know.
I mean,
You and
hey, you know, right in at the Last Row Pod, lastrowpodcast@gmail.com. So you're taking the $75 million. You're going to say it's a good return on your investment?
Totally. Now, here's my question to you. So there's always whispers of a remake, right? There were whispers. I don't know if they're going to turn into shouts or not, but there are whispers that they were thinking of an all-female Con Air
With who?
remake.
With who?
I don't know.
I feel like just make something else.
Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
and-
Leslie Jones.
Charlize Theron's got to be in it somewhere along the line,
If
right?
she's in, I'm in.
She's
you know?
Cameron Poe, or is she evil? She's good evil.
She's probably. I feel like they waste her talents on being good. She's actually a great villain.
She's a great villain.
Like she's so
Yeah.
menacing.
right.
See, I'm not down with this. Like
I don't even care, female, male, whatever. It's like, does this pass like the levels
No.
of
The five-
of remakes?
No.
it's too soon, right?
it's way too
Too
soon.
soon.
And it's not a classic, but
if they
it
make
is a classic.
if they make this in like the 2030s, then maybe we're talking here.
it's too soon to make this. Period. Make something else in an airplane. I don't care.
Sidebar: Do you think movie remakes will exist in 2035?
Yeah, they'll be remaking stuff that
In
didn't come out yet.
2037, will they still be making remakes, or will that fad be over?
No, they'll be remaking stuff from 2020. Like it's going to be, the time period
Yeah.
is like
But what original movie like exists to remake?
yeah, they're going to remake a remake
They're
of
gonna
a
remake
remake.
a remake of a remake?
Yeah. Well, they're
Yeah.
probably going to remake The Fly. I mean, you think about that. That was already a remake back in the 80s.
I can't believe they didn't already do it.
they probably
I mean,
will.
They remade The Fog. They remade
The Mist.
The Mist. They remade what's the freaking
Ghostbusters?
The Thing.
Yeah, The Thing.
Yeah,
Although I heard that
yeah.
was pretty good.
I mean, all those are related to The Fly.
So let me tell you about the acclaim of this film. We talk about the money. We talk about remaking things. They're not going to remake these awards. Okay, I'll tell you that.
Awards are forever.
Let me tell you what this won. If I told you that this won 2 Academy Awards, could you guess what they were for?
I wouldn't even believe you that it won 2 Academy Awards. That's crazy.
Actually, you know what? I don't know if it won, but it was definitely nominated.
All right, nominated. I mean,
Look it up.
everybody's been nominated. 50 Shades of Grey was nominated for something.
for Love Me Like You.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So Academy Awards, Best Sound,
Try to give this movie awards.
Suicide Squad won an Academy Award. Best Sound and Best Music, the original song "How Do I Live," written by Diane Warren.
That
performed
song
by
was
Leanne
for that
Rimes.
movie?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
I don't really think that song fit at all. We can talk more about that.
I mean,
in
I
a
don't think
moment.
the song fit, but I don't believe that's real. Like,
Yeah.
did you fact check that? Did you get that from Wikipedia? Where'd you get
Listen,
that?
I got it on Wikipedia.
I can't believe
got it
that.
on IMDb.
They made that song for that movie.
Maybe it was got for the movie,
But if it's nominated for original song,
best original song, that's what it's
That's
like.
nuts.
It's the Armageddon song.
I guess the song's pretty good.
It was good, but
Doesn't fit, does it?
I know I'm jumping to the end, but they were reunited. How does
Yeah.
he have to live without her? She's there.
Well, no, because he was like he got there to her because he couldn't live without her,
But
and
it's
if he
like,
died along the way, then it's good because he couldn't possibly.
what
live
is the
without
lyric?
her.
How do I live without you? I just
How
want to
could I-
know. Or
I just-
how do you know?
How
I
could
don't-
I ever survive? How
It doesn't.
could I-
But I don't understand because he's there. They don't have
Yeah.
to live apart. He's right there.
But like that's what was driving him to go see her again. How could I live without you?
All
But
right.
if he died on the plane, then it's also true.
That's true.
So it's like
She couldn't
redundant.
live without him.
So it's a redundant song.
So you want more proof? This also won a Grammy for best song. Quote: best song written specifically for a motion
Wow.
picture or television.
Blown away.
Diane Warren. How do I live?
Who's this lady?
Diane
Leanne
Warren
Rimes?
wrote it, but Leanne
Leanne
Rimes
Rimes.
performed it.
Okay.
All right, and then
How does she get mixed up with Con Air?
Nicolas Cage. When did he win the Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas?
95?
So it's not that-
94?
So he's still kind of riding high. in this.
Maybe 97. I don't know.
He's still
Might be
riding
right
high.
around there.
This is right when he started pumping them all out. 97. He pumped out like a bunch.
Oh,
of
he was
movies.
hot. Like he was all fire for sure.
So it's not as prestigious as a MTV Movie Award.
Right. Few are.
It's not as prestigious as a Hollywood Video Award.
What about a Nickelodeon Teen Choice
It's-
Award?
It's slightly above the Nickelodeon Teen Choice Award.
All right.
It's a little known video rental chain called Blockbuster Entertainment Awards.
The company I ran.
I don't know if they're affiliated at all. I'm just assuming that they are.
Pretty
So,
sure they were. Yeah.
Blockbuster Entertainment Awards. It won favorite actor, and this is actually listed on the site.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage for Face Off, but it was listed for this movie. Favorite supporting actor John Cusack, and favorite supporting actress Rachel Ticotin.
Sure.
I don't know how to say it. Basically, the female guard.
She was like barely in it.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Did these win or were they nominated?
I'm pretty sure they won.
Does that show you the sad state of affairs of female roles?
I should have
in
wrote this down.
1997. If this woman was nominated, and she was like, all she did was screw up and lose the keys to let all the cons out and take over the plane. It was her fault.
She was good.
It was her fault.
She played good in terms of like she was in jeopardy the
But
whole
she was
time.
barely in it. Though.
Yeah, she was just
she had like
locked up
10
in the
lines.
cage. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Whatever.
I think she won. I don't know. You're making me second guess this now. I thought I should have wrote down won or lost.
I don't know.
This is bad research
I
on
don't
my-
think she shouldn't even have been nominated, let alone won. If she won, then it's like this is a sad state of affairs for female acting in 1997.
Do you want to know that
they need better roles?
You
Damn
know,
it!
we say that girl from that thing.
Yeah.
She's also the Quaid's sidekick in
That's right. Total Recall.
Total Recall.
That's right.
Total Recall. Howdy, Quaid.
I thought that was her only role.
Yeah, she's in that. She's one of the Resistance people. There's also 2 more awards. So again, another international award for Face Off, which is listed for this movie.
What?
Best international actor, Nicolas Cage.
Sure. We need some editing here.
Must
Jerry.
be all those pachinko
I'll
commercials.
tell you what.
That's the IMDb for you. And then it also won 2 Razzies. So you know how it won all of these awards for music? It was nominated for Worst Original Song, How Do I Live? So I don't know how you can be nominated for win a Grammy and also be the worst
I
song.
kind of get it though.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't fit the movie.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
It's not
fit.
knocking the song. It doesn't fit the movie.
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the tone. It should have been some metal song or something.
It doesn't even have to be metal. Just give me something with some juice.
And then it also won it actually won this worst reckless disregard for human life and public property because they
All right.
crashed into a casino.
Crashed into a casino.
It's
Las
pretty
Vegas,
accurate.
Las Vegas doesn't care.
Yeah.
don't care.
Who cares, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's got some acclaim around this movie. It's got some acclaim.
Glad I got a little respect in the action movie world.
Now, I should probably fact check all of those, but they definitely pulled them from
Ladies and
IMDb.
gentlemen, the last 5 minutes, none of that was true. None of
No,
that was true.
It's written. It's written, so it's
It was
true.
written.
If it's on the internet. So let's jump right into this. I want to talk a little bit about Cameron Poe, Nicolas Cage. Let's just start with the hair.
We have to start with the
it's
hair.
The elephant in the room.
You have to.
Did he request that hair? Like when first off, the hair goes along with the accent, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, was this his direction for the character? Was it the director? Was it Simon West? Like, what's going on with that hair?
Well, first of all, I got to ask you. I mean, this might be an obvious question, but I have to ask it. Is it real or is it fake?
I think it's a wig.
You think it's a wig?
I think it's
Is
a wig.
there any way possible he could grow that hair?
No, I think it's extensions on maybe some hair that he had with maybe a toupee in part of it.
Yeah. no.
Because if you look at 97, he was probably starting to bald. Like, he definitely had the sides. You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about? Like,
well, I mean, they never really see the top of his head. He could have a mean skull going. Like, with that hair,
it definitely... Yeah, that's true. Like, does he
Did
really
they ever
have
show
it?
the back of his head in this movie? What if he like made it a point and just don't shoot the back of my head, Jerry?
Yeah,
Don't do it.
That's true.
Could
But
be.
do you think he chose that hair? Like, was that his
Yeah,
choice?
I feel like Cage has some like say at
Like
this point in his
artistic
career,
license?
some artistic pull as to what his character looks like. I also think that the accent was his choice.
I think that was a poor choice, in my opinion. Like, didn't need to be from Alabama. Like, I don't know. There was no point to it other than for him to have the accent. He could have been from anywhere.
And to fight the hillbillies, like is that a reason?
Yeah, but he could have been like anybody.
They could have fought
been-
anybody.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean. It didn't make sense. I mean, he was in a hole in the wall bar. There's those here, and we're like
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania. Like, those bars exist here.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
man.
know what the point of that
Yeah.
was. But the accent was took me out of the movie a little bit, but then I loved it.
No, I think he got together with Jerry a little bit, and they were like, he had some ideas for how this character is going to work, and I totally agree with you. I think there is a possibility that he has some artistic freedoms with how his character looks and acts. I agree.
So the movie opens up with him meeting up with his wife for like a drink or something. Were they married at this point? They didn't really say.
Unclear, but I think so.
They're at this bar, this hole in the wall dive bar.
Yeah.
And they
Is it
meet
like
up.
on a dock?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a really weird place. And these guys try hitting on his girl, and it turns into an ugly scene
Well,
outside.
not just hitting on her; they were like disrespecting him. He
It
was he was in uniform,
which
fresh out of the military.
I also call violation on.
Yeah.
Like, first off, it's wrong to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, and the second off, you would think that if anyone disrespected a military member in a bar, like, other people would jump on those
They'd be
guys.
like, "Hey, like he shouldn't have to fight his fight." Like the other people should be like, "Hey, what are you, an idiot?"
Yeah, they're clearly in the disrespectful minority. I
Yeah.
feel with how they treated him. He's an Army Ranger. Like,
Yeah.
he's clearly like serving the country.
Yeah, bad all the other people for not like shutting those guys down.
Nobody stood up for
Yeah.
him, which is crazy. So they take him outside somehow. His wife tells him to get out of it. Just don't worry about it. Like, don't be that guy. You look like it looks familiar. I see the rage in your eyes.
Oh yeah, he's done this before. He's gotten into fights. By the way, he's still short hair at this point. Just to let everyone know.
Yeah.
If you're not
Pre-wig.
watching at home,
Pre-wig.
pre-wig.
Dude pulls a switchblade on him. Like, when's the last time? Have you ever seen a switchblade in person?
No, but it's not a bad move.
I mean, you can hide
I
it.
gotta respect it, right?
But that guy took it up to 11 like immediately. Like I thought it was going to be a little fist fight.
It was already 3-on-1. You don't
Yeah.
need the switchblade, buddy.
I mean, maybe make him, rough him up a little bit.
If he didn't pull the switchblade, he might be alive today,
Would
right?
yeah, that could be
This whole
alive.
thing could have been avoided if they would just taken his ass whooping like a man.
That was the guy that got murdered, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember which one. The other two guys
Yeah.
ran away, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
But he winds up fighting these guys, accidentally kills them because his body is a deadly weapon.
So he did the move where like he pushed the guy's nose up to his skull, which is that a myth? Can you really do that?
This sounds like, those tall tales about Sting that you hear back in elementary school.
I feel like this is something that like Arnold Schwarzenegger does in movies only and not really happens. I don't know. Can they myth bust this somehow?
That's where they said,
how do you do this?
Back in when Mortal Kombat days, why Raiden punches with the open
with
palm,
the open palm, yeah.
so that he's
It's
punching
pretty hard.
to kill you.
It's pretty hard.
I don't know. Would your nose break off and go into your brain and kill you?
I think that's a very rare thing. Like I feel like it's got to be a freak accident, which we'll get into how like he shouldn't have been sentenced, but like it's such a freak accident that it's not like he took his head and bashed him against the floor 50 times,
Yeah.
right?
It was definitely one blow.
It wasn't
to the
rage.
head. Yeah, he was protecting his wife and he was being disrespected
And the honor and his honor.
and defending himself. The guy pulled a freaking
And a knife,
switchblade
man.
on him.
Hey man, they grabbed the knife and they ran.
So this guy dies. Like Cage is going to jail. I mean, we can talk about how he got there. Let's talk about the trial in a minute.
Yeah.
But what the hell, man? This is clear. Is it clearly self-defense or what?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's eyewitnesses. The wife was there. The guys that ran away, like the wife knew who they were. Could have called them back into the trial. I feel like this is it's a sham trial, man. It's a sham trial. Where was the appeals at?
So
where were the appeals?
So I pulled this. There was a frequently asked question on IMDb, and I thought it was actually interesting because we said the message boards closed down like what was it, a few episodes ago,
sad,
which is a sad state of affairs. But
still reeling from that, by the way.
where can you take your internet rage here?
Yeah, I mean YouTube is like the Wild West. I
It's
mean
a
that at least
cesspool.
had some control.
It was somewhat respectful,
Yes.
somewhat.
Not at all, but like at least a little bit.
Yeah. But let me ask you this. Is this guy the worst lawyer of all time?
I don't know how he got hooked up with his lawyer, but man, he's the worst advice.
Because Nicolas Cage, I'm going to keep calling him Cage. He refuses to plead guilty. His lawyer is urging him, pleading him, please plead guilty. His lawyer says he's risking getting 10 years if he went to trial and he lost. But if he admits to it, he'd only get 4 years and maybe serve like a good 1 year for good behavior, get out on parole or something. But for whatever reason, the guy didn't set it up as a plea deal. He just followed his lawyer's advice. So he just went and did this, right? He played guilty. So he pled guilty and the judge decided to make an example out of him, which also I call poo-poo
What the hell's
on.
with this judge?
Believing that Cameron, being a former Army Ranger, didn't think the normal rules of society applied to him and that he's trained to respond with deadly force, thereby making him a danger to society and gave him a sentence of 7 to 10 years.
Jeez. Now, what they didn't mention in the movie, which maybe what I'm thinking just now, what if he had a history of a violent past? Now, the girl, his wife alludes to, I've seen that look in your eye. As
She
he
did
said.
mention it.
So what if like he's had like a couple strikes against him in the law in the past?
And that, you got the rap sheet
What if
after
he
him?
got some scraps in the past?
It's possible.
That's what they don't mention. But aside from that, there's no way this guy should be made an example of. This guy's a military man. He's defending himself. It was clear self-defense. The lawyer's a scumbag, man. Like, I don't know how you botched this. But, and even so, even pleading guilty, the judge, this is not the man to be made an example of.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's like a war hero, it seems. I don't know why. Clearly self-defense. Anyone there could have told you that.
Yeah.
I'm sure these guys had rap sheets of their own.
Yeah.
They're scumbags too.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, I call bull on this whole thing. Lawyer's terrible. The guy should be out of a job. Like it's one of the worst lawyers ever, but he's going to jail now, 7 to 10 years. That's
7
a
to 10,
hell of a
man.
long time.
Oof.
Was his wife pregnant at the time? Because they didn't
Yes.
make it clear. So she was or she
Yeah,
wasn't?
because like he like touched the belly and all that. Well, she had to have been. Like,
you know what's odd to me?
honestly, like that's the whole movie is him getting back to his daughter.
You know what's
so-
odd to me? He's in jail for 7 to 10 years, and that kid only looked like it was like 5.
Yeah, I mean,
What's going on there?
I don't know, man.
What's going on there?
I don't know.
That's,
This wife.
I'll
What's
leave that
what's
right
she
there.
up to? What's she up
I'll
to?
just leave that right there.
What kind of game she trying to pull?
That kid looked like it was maybe she was like 5, and he was in jail for 7 to 10.
That kid didn't look like him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That kid didn't look like him.
I don't know
know.
about this. We need to call it more Bovich here. So do you think his wife would be like? 'cause-
I'm sorry. Let's backtrack here. those letters he was writing to that girl and she was writing back.
Yeah.
Seemed a little too grown up.
It was.
I feel like it was an adult that was writing those.
Maybe she was writing him back to like
That wife was writing
him
him back. That kid didn't exist.
That's how I feel.
Yep.
It's like, hey, his daughter, like she's 2. How's
She
she gonna write a
didn't
letter?
even have a kid. That girl she brought to Las Vegas, it was an actress.
It's a fake kid.
It was a fake kid.
I fully expected her to show up with her husband, like at the end of Castaway, like, oh, hello, this is my husband.
Oh, yeah. Because
Like he'd be crushed.
let's be real. We're jumping all over the place here.
That's okay.
She's seen that look in his eye before, she quoted. This guy's a loose cannon.
That's what I'm saying.
Clearly. Now, having said that, not necessary for him to go to jail for 10 years, but it's what happened. And she told him not to fight. She said, get in the car. If he would have gotten in the car, nothing would have happened.
Yeah.
He didn't get in the car. He stayed out. He defended the honor, killed the guy. What are the chances she should leave this guy?
I think they're
While
probably
he's in jail.
high, especially since he wouldn't even let her visit him in jail.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing.
Kept him away.
Now, maybe it was one of the, I don't know if it was reverse psychology. She didn't want to visit him,
Yeah.
but it was posed that he said, I don't want to see my daughter. I don't want my daughter seeing me locked up with criminals.
Right.
But by nature, he's a criminal himself.
Yep.
He killed somebody.
What is that? I don't want to see you with alongside the sobbing wives and baked goods.
I mean, I just feel like it's weird. And they had, talk about the prison cell for a second. They had some pretty good privileges in there.
Yeah, I like
He
it.
had a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I love how he just had pictures of his kid on the wall, pictures of stuff. And then he had like a picture of like an ATV and it just said like ATV on it or something.
I don't know.
Like it was just random like
Do you
machinery.
like enjoy it looking at that in the morning? I don't know.
Like-
I wish you could be driving that ATV.
It's like random machinery.
I mean, honestly, when at work, like we have like this wall of like the beach where like
It's just a picture
these
of the
awesome
beach.
pictures of beaches. And we're like, we could be there right now. Is that the same thing?
But I'm
kinda?
stuck here in
Yeah.
my office.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like he, I think it was an ATV. It was something. I don't know what
whatever
the hell it was.
Yeah.
But in jail, he becomes good friends with the guy from Forrest Gump,
Bubba, man.
Bubba Blue.
Yeah. Which he like, I guess that's probably how we got the accent, right?
They grew up.
Forrest Gump, right?
They had a good bromance going on. It seemed like, they had a good friendship going on. You're going to have a prison cellmate. You kind of want somebody that you can trust, right?
Yeah.
Seemed like he didn't join any of the gangs. He was good. He just had, he was all right in jail.
Lucky to get that good cellmate. Now let's go backtrack. You're not going to get off too easy. I got a question for you.
Yeah,
personally.
go ahead. All right.
You have a daughter.
Yes.
She's what? One in a month.
1 in a month. 13 months.
Let's say tomorrow you're going away.
Yeah.
You're going away
To jail?
for 15 years.
Oh, man.
I don't know what you did. You laundered money. You seem like a money launderer
Yeah, I
to
don't
me.
know.
Yeah. Would you not want her to come see you in jail?
No, I absolutely would.
Would you forbid her from coming to see daddy like that in jail?
No, that's wasted time, I feel.
Right?
You should see her. Like, I get.
Even though, but it's different because you saw her when she was a baby, right?
Yeah, he never saw
He never
her, I
saw
guess.
her. So he doesn't want the first time to see her. Does that make sense to you?
No, it makes it worse because
Right.
then she doesn't know who he is, and
Yeah.
she's like 5 or 6, and she's like, "Who's this stranger that I'm
Right.
supposed to hug?"
They were writing letters to each other, but I mean,
I'd
It's like
say
a pen
it
pal.
could be a professional
Like a pen
writing
pal,
service
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
How do we know it was the daughter, like you said?
Yeah.
No, I would want her to come see you
right?
personally.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. That's what the visitors are for, man.
It's
It's like
wasted
there's no
time.
shame.
what if he dies and then he never saw his daughter? What if
So-
he got shanked in the prison shower?
So you're ashamed that you're in jail, right?
I get
What's
that.
worse? Having your family see you, but you're like ashamed, or like being a ghost, where it's like they might forget about you. Oh, we got a letter today. Oh, it's just a letter.
And maybe
I'll read
you don't
it
even
I'll read it
exist.
tomorrow. And read it tomorrow. Turns in I'll read it next week.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you got some piled up because she's too busy. She's playing with friends. She's got gymnastics. She's got softball.
She's got a stepdad.
She got stepdad because mommy's got a new friend coming around
That's
town.
what I'm saying.
Right?
That's-
because
She
mommy,
misses him too.
Mommy's not allowed to go visit daddy. So, she doesn't get like his musk.
Yeah.
The pheromones are gone. Is this real? Is this science? I don't know.
No, I mean,
So,
no, for real though.
and Harold from accounting, he's there every day telling her, man, if I was your man, I wouldn't leave you.
I wouldn't be in jail.
I wouldn't be in jail. I treat you right.
I wouldn't.
I treat
kill
you
somebody.
right. How's little Haley doing? Oh, she's doing, yeah. I'll tell you what. Well, I got 2 tickets here to the zoo. I'll take her.
I wouldn't raid and punch that guy in the parking lot and kill him,
Yeah.
even though he pulled a switchblade on me.
Right.
No, I agree with you.
You
I
got to
think
take care of your family.
I think he wasted time by not letting her visit. I get the embarrassment, and I understand that, but that's 10 years that were gone from his
And-
life.
And also, let's skip to the end of the movie. So when she sees him for the first time,
Yeah.
and he's got that long hair, the first things out of her mouth, first words out of her mouth should have been, "The hell did you do to your hair?" Because like when the last time she saw him, he had like this nice, military regular haircut, regular Nic Cage haircut.
And even the kid, you put a kid that's like 5 years old. Kids say everything that's on their mind. Yeah. So I feel like the kid would be like, "What's wrong with you?"
And I feel like in his jail outfit, his Alabama accent like rose 20 degrees.
It did. It really did.
When he met her again, like his Alabama accent was on full thickness.
Casey.
I got you, buddy.
It was. Oh my god! Right, the podcast's over. We can pack it up right now. We can
so we like went on such a tangent there. Let's get back to the movie. We're in like the first 5 minutes of the movie. What happened?
We talked a little bit about the jail cell, but basically, he's getting out of prison.
He's friends with Bubba.
He's friends with Bubba.
Yeah, his roommate's Bubba. Yeah,
they're transporting a bunch of prisoners, which will take us to Mr. Vince Larkin in a second. But basically, they have to get on this plane. They're transporting him home. He's gonna leave. It's his last day in prison, but he's not free until he gets off the plane.
Yes,
Bubba's getting transferred to another prison. I'm just gonna call him Bubba because I don't remember his
Bubba.
His
it's
name.
freaking Bubba.
It's I think his what is
Baby
his name?
O?
His real name is Baby O.
Baby O.
That's a great name. But he's getting transferred, and then a whole bunch of these other guys are getting transferred too. They're going through Carson City. At the center of this whole thing is Mr. High Fidelity himself, John Cusack, Vince Larkin. He works for the U.S. Marshal Service.
Yeah, sure. DA.
How do you? The DEA is the other guy.
The DEA, not the DA.
So he is part of the U.S. Marshal Service. They're transporting these prisoners on something that was used in real life. I don't know if it still is.
Yeah.
Maybe this movie exposed the flaws of the system.
No, it still exists. It's actually grown.
Okay, so I
actually saw a documentary on it.
Okay, but Vince Larkin, John Cusack,
yes,
is he out of place in this movie? Because I say yes.
Yeah, man, totally. Let me ask you a question. Now, I put Cusack in the same category myself personally as Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
To where I feel like I don't want to watch anything with those guys in it. There's something about him.
You don't like his face? You don't like his acting style?
Yeah. I hate him worse than I hate Jason Bateman.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Jason Bateman fan, but I don't dislike him.
I don't really hate him, but I kind of hate John Cusack.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
So you're not a fan of him in this role or just in life?
In life, but he seems miscast in this role.
I'll tell you who, we usually save the recast for the end, but I'm just going to do it right now.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Give me Ed Norton in this role.
You know what? Yeah. Is Ed Norton too young at this point?
No,
probably not.
Because Fight Club was 99?
He could be mid-30s.
Like, because Cusack isn't that old in this either.
No, he always has kind of like a baby face.
He's got the baby face. Yeah. So give me Ed Norton in this role. I feel like it's just a little bit more
That's
believable.
a good call. That's actually a good call.
I just think it's a better one. I thought of some more when we were watching it, but I can't remember what they are now. But I just didn't buy him as this like sleuthy, undercover.
What if it was Al Pacino?
Yeah, you could do that.
What if it was an older guy?
But maybe the whole point is like he's kind of a guy that you don't believe because then you can't have this other dude bossing him around.
But I believe Al Pacino as like this guy who's like just really has his wits about him.
Yeah.
And is thinking more than just like, he's not taking things for granted. He's seeing the whole picture and not just tunnel vision.
I'll tell you who's going to play Vince Larkin in the remake.
Who's that?
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
I feel like he would absolutely play.
Yeah, that's actually a good call. Yep.
It's just like perfect casting.
Yep.
You said Al Pacino reminded me of, what is it, the movie? The Recruit?
The Recruit, yeah.
It's a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I'm not buying Vince Larkin. And it seems like there's a power struggle between the DEA who wants to get this guy, what the heck's his name? Francisco Cindino?
Yeah.
He's a drug lord that's also going to be on this plane at the pit stop that they're making.
Yeah.
So this other dude, Call Meany, great name in real life.
Great name.
But the actor's Call Meany, but the character's name is Duncan Malloy. Great name, too.
Duncan Malloy, that's a great name.
Great name.
Yeah.
Shows up in a Corvette with a vanity plate that says "Ass Kicker." Right off the bat, this guy's a jerk.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There's an internal power struggle. Whose side are you on?
I mean, obviously you have to be on Cusack's side, even though I want to punch his face off.
You really don't like him, do you?
Yeah. But no, I enjoy the Duncan character for his dickishness. Like, he did a good job.
He was such a jerk. He reminded me of the Secretary of Defense from Independence Day. Like, he always wanted to take the nuclear option.
Yeah.
Not Ed Harris.
Yeah, the not Ed Harris character.
As we always...
I like that they, like, introduce him as, like, they want you to think he's a bad guy because he drives the Corvette, he's cocky about it, and he parks it in the handicap spot. It's like the ultimate... It's like, without saying anything, you establish that this guy is an asshole.
Yeah.
It's like it's very clean writing. It's very very clean screenwriting.
He should have been open mouth chewing gum too.
Yeah.
While he showed up, you stick a little bit of a gum in there, get him open mouth chewing gum showing up. I think he'd be good. He's got a sidekick with him too.
He's got an asshole mouth too.
He does actually.
Yeah.
MLA.
Yeah.
He's got MLA. But he shows up and like they're trying to get on the plane. They want to get this guy. The guy's wearing a wire. They're going to send him undercover. And Cusack's all pissed off because they don't want this guy bringing a gun on the plane and introduces chaos. But Duncan Malloy gives the guy a gun anyway. But he's got
him down himself because of the gun.
He's got a wire under this.
Yeah.
Is this a good plan? Like, I don't understand what they're trying to get this guy before he goes to FBI jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So you got kind of like a power struggle there, and this plot gets a little convoluted for me.
Right.
I don't know.
It doesn't really matter though, the guy they put on the plane, because it gets foiled so quickly. And
As it should.
Apparently the guy they chose to be the con, like the undercover dude, is like the worst guy.
Yeah, really
the worst guy ever.
I feel like Duncan Malloy should have went on.
Loses his cool instantly.
He pulls a gun on everybody. Like, what do you expect?
Right, when the shit hits
shot.
the fan that it would inevitably did, he could have played it cool. Like, honestly.
I don't know. Like, these guys just jump all over this dude, and he's just a waste.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the guys on the plane with this guy.
The cons?
Yeah, let's talk about the cons.
Can I tell you, though? Not until recently did I know that Con Air stood for convict. Can I admit that?
Are you admitting that on
are we
in a
among
public
friends?
forum?
Are we among friends?
I don't know.
I don't know why.
Listeners?
Like, I didn't think it meant anything. It was like Con Air. What's Con Air mean? And then I was like, oh yeah, convicts.
Convict.
That
air?
was like last year.
Oh,
all right.
That's like me realizing the FedEx symbol had the arrow in it, like, or the Amazon, the A to Z.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I realized that 2 years ago.
I feel like we're an open book here. I can admit that among friends.
We are
right?
among friends
Okay.
here. I don't know, unless you deleted them for listeners. I
Yeah.
don't know I don't know how many friends we have left.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about some of these guys. I want to tell you what their name is. I don't know what their sentence was. But
I kind of remember.
You do.
I remember.
So, Billy Bedlam.
Billy Bedlam is the psychopath who walked in on his wife cheating on him, but did not kill the wife or the guy. He went back and killed his wife's family.
I feel like you're doing the voiceover to the movie. It's so accurate.
Yeah, like he killed the mother, the father, the brothers and sisters, and even the dog, they say.
It's pretty brutal.
That's what that guy did.
Pretty brutal.
And he gets the Cage treatment. Now he's one of the 4 guys that gets the Cage treatment, not Nicolas Cage, the stand-up airplane jail cell Cage.
Yeah.
Is he that psycho? He just killed one family. It was a crime of passion.
Yeah.
It's a crime of passion.
Pretty bad passion.
Yeah, it's pretty bad passion. But like, honestly, it was temporary insanity. Where's his lawyer?
Yeah, that's
Did he
true.
have the same lawyer as Nicolas Cage?
He told him plead guilty.
Yeah.
You'll get an
Yeah.
easier sentence.
You got to plead temporary insanity.
It
on that
definitely
one, man.
was a crime of passion.
Yeah.
So would you be scared? Let's say if you're sitting next to this guy, would you be scared?
No,
We'll use
'cause
that as
I
the
didn't bang his
test.
wife.
But she was banged.
She was banged.
But by who?
But if he was dating my sister,
Yeah, then
I'm in trouble.
you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Then
So
you're
I
in
guess I am
trouble.
scared of him because who knows?
Yeah, and then you're in trouble. So if you're sitting next to him and you have no relation, then you're good.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be scared. All right. What about Cyrus the Virus Grissom?
Cyrus the Virus is the final boss of convicts.
Great name.
John Malkovich.
Great casting.
What did he do? He
He has like 5 degrees.
They say he's done it all. So he does robbery, he did armed robbery, kidnapping, murder, money laundering. I think he
Regicide,
slapped an old person.
patricide,
Yeah. Genocides. No.
matricide.
So yeah, so he did all that. He did like everything, right? Then he went to jail for life. But in jail, he got super smart. He got degrees. He got his doctorate, they say. And he also killed like a dozen inmates while in prison. And he's a riot starter. He started 3 riots and he escaped prison 3 times, I believe.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
So why is he on this plane at all?
They shouldn't have left him out. They put him a hole in the ground.
That's the kind of guy where you put in solitary for the rest of his life.
They let him get like 5 degrees too, so he's clearly a smart person.
Yeah,
completely unhinged.
But it's kind of like dangerous that he got smart, right?
It is. They shouldn't have let him.
Yeah, it's more dangerous that the guy gets smarter.
You gotta.
I know you can't hold the guy down for wanting to better himself, but you still got to put him in solitary. You can't be putting him on planes in the outside world where he can escape.
Well, it's like they're letting him get an aviation degree while he's about to go on a plane.
Yeah. But especially since he's such a good escaper, since he escaped 3 times already.
Yeah,
He got caught all 3 times. But
Slippery.
He's a good escaper. He's slippery. He's very slippery.
So would
yeah.
you sit next to him?
Yeah,
You
because
would?
like he treats everyone with respect.
You learn a thing or two?
All the cons.
I guess he's not trying to get you.
Yeah,
He's trying to get out.
yeah.
But
He'll
you know,
use you, but
He'll
he
use
won't.
you.
He won't kill you for nothing.
Yeah. What about
Kill you for something.
Diamond Dog, Ving Rhames?
Diamond
Great
Dog
name.
Ving Rhames, he is like a Black Panther type of guy. Apparently he bombed an NRA meeting
It's pretty bad.
for I believe it was racial reasons.
Yeah.
And something about like saying the NRA was like the scourge of the world or whatever. I don't know.
So he's a terrorist.
Yeah, basically.
Would
So
you sit
that's what
next
he
to him?
did. That's all he did.
Would you sit next to him? That's all.
That's all he did.
Yeah.
He bombed a place.
Would you sit next to him?
No, well, he's in a stand-up cage.
Yeah, but I mean, let's say you were in the cage with
Yeah,
him.
sure.
You
I
share a
didn't do
cell
it.
with him?
I didn't do anything to him.
Yeah, but he doesn't like you.
Yeah, he does.
He
I'm not a
hates
part of the
you.
NRA.
Yeah.
I'm not a part of like the. I'm not a conservative guy that he's like lashing out against conservatives.
I thought they
believe.
said because didn't what's his
He's
name?
not
say-
racist.
Oh, I guess he was racist against the.
No, he's not
like,
racist.
The racists.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
Or perceived
misunderstood that.
racist. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that everybody in the NRA is racist.
Yeah.
It's perceived racist.
Because
he's
when-
not. He himself isn't racist. Like he got along with Poe.
Well, because Cage tried to incite it, but he was
Yeah.
trying to incite racism on the
Yeah,
racists.
he was telling him, "Oh, you're gonna take all this from the white man and all that,"
Yeah.
and then like he brushed that off immediately. He's
Yeah.
like, "We're not gonna
He
fall
said,
for
"I'll
that."
wait till later."
Yeah, right. But he was cool with Poe. Poe had nothing to, like
Yeah.
they were cool with each other.
It's the hair, man. He
The
loved
hair,
the
it's
hair.
all about the hair.
What about
It's disarming, isn't it?
Yeah, it is disarming.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Vidal Sassoon.
Yeah.
You know how fitting when you Google Con Air. Most of the time you get the movie, but sometimes you get the Con Air hair dryer,
Yeah,
which is
Yeah.
so fitting.
Which
Maybe-
like there should be commercials with Nic Cage, right?
Why wasn't that's a missed marketing opportunity?
Yeah,
let me tell
who's his
you.
agent? Let's
Let
go.
me tell you, missed
Go.
marketing opportunity. What about Garland Green? Garland, the Marietta Mangler,
Oh, the Mangler, Steve Buscemi. So he's just your
psychopath,
Jeffrey Dahmer, serial
Ted
killer.
Bundy.
I can't tell you how many murders he did. I don't know. It was like in the multi dozens, maybe
It was a lot.
hundreds. And he's really a skinny, unassuming guy. Obviously, Steve Buscemi, and he's just a mass murderer. He quoted that he killed a woman and wore her head across 3 states. I don't even know how you do that.
How many times have you seen this movie? You're really good at this.
I just remember it.
He's
man.
not reading notes, people. I'm telling you. He's
I'm not even looking at my
staring-
phone.
He's looking at my eyes.
Yeah.
He's staring into my soul right now, like the Mangler.
Steel trap, baby.
So would you sit next to him?
No.
Not
Breath.
in the protective gear.
Breath.
Yeah.
The
What if-
teeth.
Get
The
him some
teeth.
Listerine.
Yeah, the teeth.
What
The
if-
Listerine won't work, Drew.
Yeah, that's
it won't
true.
work.
What about Johnny 23?
Johnny 23. That's Machete.
Danny Trejo?
Danny Trejo. He this is one of the more disgusting guys.
Yes.
He's named Johnny 23 because of the 23 rapes that he committed.
It's pretty bad.
He should be in a cage, by the way. He's not in a cage. He got a seat.
He should have been caged.
Should have been caged. And he has a tattoo of 23 hearts.
for
and then
all
he,
of the assaults.
And then he goes and he taunts the female prison guard. So this guy was one of the worst of the worst, and he's not caged, and he should be Nicolas Cage.
Well, did you catch what he said? He only had 23 because he
Yeah.
was charged with 23.
23, yeah.
He said
more
he
like,
should be
more
more
like
like Johnny-
Johnny 100 and
Yeah.
whatever, yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
He might be the most dangerous person on the plane.
Why is this guy on the plane?
Why
Why are they all together, Drew?
Why isn't he in the cage?
Why are they all together on
That
the
is a
same
bad
flight?
idea. What about
It's kind of like a cocktail disaster. What do they call that?
a cauldron?
The cauldron, yeah.
One of my favorite names in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Not
All
to be
right.
confused with Swamp Ass.
I don't think they have the backstory for Swamp Thing. This is the guy that they picked up.
Pilot.
They picked up on the drop, and he flew the plane after they kicked the pilot out. I don't think they say what he did. He looks like a psycho.
He does.
He's the dude from Lost.
Yeah.
The first other that we see.
Mr. Smiley. They
Yeah,
called
Mr.
him.
Smiley. Yeah, he's that dude.
He's got a great
All you
great
Lost
name
fans
in
out
real
there.
life. MC Gainey. That's a great name.
Yeah.
I'll
yeah.
go through a couple of these pretty quickly. What about Pinball, played by Dave Chappelle?
Pinball's Dave Chappelle.
Sit next to him.
He's just your common criminal. He's got a long rap sheet, but nothing too violent. And he's pretty much the lackey that sets off the chain of events that gets John Malkovich to control this plane.
He was the comic relief, and I felt
Yeah.
like he was out of place. Honestly, I liked Dave
No,
Chappelle.
you needed
but
him. He was perfect.
He was good.
Yeah.
He just felt a little out of place.
I was upset that he didn't make it back on the plane.
You know what
Right?
looked pretty awful? Probably the worst special effects and why this was a $75 million budget. The dead body that was supposed to be him.
Yeah.
Didn't look like
It
him
looked
at
nothing
all.
like him. I was confused. Like, is that Dave Chappelle?
It looked like a wax doll
Yeah,
of
it
some.
was like it looked like he was frozen.
His face was, but maybe if you fall from that high,
you know what?
you
Yeah, he was
freeze.
yeah, it's true.
That's good special
That's,
effects,
that's
right?
science right there.
What's the special effects guy? The horror master that we always
Tom
talk about?
Savini.
It's a meanie on
Tom
that.
Savini.
What about Ramon Sally Can't Dance Martinez? That's like
That's the cross dresser.
yeah. That guy was so weird.
Yeah, and like really, I don't think they said what he did. Like he was just
Didn't
there.
really do
I don't know.
anything. He's just there.
He's just there.
Baby O, I'm going to assume you'd sit next to him.
Baby O was Bubba.
What about Sandino? Gael from 24 for all you
Gael,
24
he
fans.
was part of the cartel, which is the whole reason why the FBI was trying to get in there.
Yeah.
Right? And that's that. So who's the worst?
I think Johnny 23.
Johnny 23, yeah, he's pretty awful.
Ving Rhames he's pretty bad. He'll murder you and not care.
But when you like focus on like one group, like I don't know, like yeah, it's bad. It's a hate crime.
But who kill you?
I retract that. That's a hate crime.
It's terrorism.
So, yeah, it is terrorism. But yeah, those people are probably innocent.
I feel like he would kill me more than Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi's the worst guy though.
Yeah, I mean they put him in like a freaking.
They put him in the Hannibal Lecter
Hannibal
suit.
Lecter suit, which was a little overkill.
Johnny 23 is pretty bad though.
Johnny 23 is unhinged.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. And he was trying to actually assault the female guard, which was so bad.
Yeah, but how are we not sure that Steve Buscemi? I feel like there was like a little like molestation in his past too. So I feel like that's on the table.
It was implied with the little kid.
I think Buscemi won. Johnny 23 2. So Machete 2.
I say Cyrus is 3 actually.
Cyrus 3. Ving Rhames 4.
I don't even know Swamp Thing.
We don't know what he did. He looks like a psycho.
Billy Bedlam.
Billy Bedlam, I guess 5. Yeah.
That's the top 5.
But Billy Bedlam though, like yeah, he's a scumbag. But again, crime of passion.
Yeah, he didn't mean to.
Crime of passion.
He didn't mean to. He's not going to kill you.
But he did think about it. So like he caught his wife having sex, right?
He drove.
He had to drive to the house, so it was premeditated. He had time to cool down.
Yeah,
and he did. So
if this was Minority Report, that ball would be in the machine right now.
Maybe he's worse than Malkovich.
He probably is actually.
Malkovich isn't like he did it all, but like I feel like he's calculated.
But he did it all.
Yeah,
like it's all.
He did it all. Yeah,
he did it all before he was like 15. Didn't
we don't know how many people he murdered though. The people in the jail, I don't think they count as much. Like I know that sounds bad to say, but I don't know. I just feel that way. I don't know. But anyway, that's our rankings. If you have other rankings, you listeners at home, please give us our rankings. Sorry if we offended anyone in that, but you know what?
Hey, you know what? If you are a terrorist or you murdered your family, sorry. Sorry. You have crime of passion.
I don't know why I said that. I didn't offend anybody. I don't know. I didn't offend anybody there.
So tell me a little bit about, since you're very well versed in the villains of
That's all I know is the villains.
How did they take over this plane?
So Dave Chappelle, he swallowed the gas, the gasoline or whatever, in a match and spit at the dude and lit the guy on fire. Set off a chain of events where the guard was a fumbling, bubbling guard, got her keys pickpocketed, let everyone go. Malkovich had the plan, took it all over. And big bada boom, bada bing. Couple guards dead. FBI guy got a little trigger happy, pulled his gun out, failed miserably, and boom.
Did that guy know he was about to get lit on fire? Was he in on that?
No, not at all.
Because he kind of seemed like he wasn't that mad after it was over.
Well, put it this way. Say if you're a lifer, right? And all it takes is a little bit of flames, a little bit of burnt skin to get your ass free.
Yeah.
Would you take that?
Yeah, but don't you think in the nature of who these guys are, he'd just kill Dave Chappelle right after? Like, yeah, you got him free, but
well, I mean, now's not the time to be killing them. Maybe when they land.
Yeah.
Maybe when they're on the beach.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
That's true.
But really, it's like you win the lottery. If you're a con and you're all about getting out of that, that con life, I'm all for it.
So what do you think?
Go ahead.
What do you think of this plan overall? So they're going to fly to what, a non-extradition country? That's it.
Seemed like a lot of moving parts.
It's pretty complicated.
Like I know that they're working with limited assets because they're like in the plane and all that. Like they're in the jail and they're going to be on the plane. So it's like they're kind of they're trusting this cartel dude, and they're trusting everything to work smoothly and be on time.
The guy wasn't even on the plane yet.
Yeah, and for them to have work the timing out is a little unrealistic, and it's a little foolhardy on their part.
I'm not really down with this plan. I think you're right. You nailed it when you said too many moving parts.
And the cartel doesn't give a shit, and they screwed him over.
Yeah.
They screwed him over anyway. They didn't care about other people. They just wanted to grab their guy.
It just so happened that Cameron Poe was trying to get a diabetes needle.
Yeah.
Right? Like he was trying to get the insulin for his buddy.
The most ridiculous part of the whole movie was him wasting a half hour of the movie trying to get a needle for his friend. The guy died anyway.
No, he's still okay.
Oh, yeah, but
he should have died.
Yeah, he should have died.
He should have died.
Yeah.
He got shot in the gut immediately after he got that needle.
Like Poe could have foiled their plan and gotten him safer than wasting all that time looking for a damn needle.
But that shows how much of an honorable person he is, and I think that's what John Cusack sees.
And that shows you how bad the judge screwed up because this guy was in prison for 7 years.
Yeah, it was. They made an example out of
this type of guy was in prison for 7 years.
He was clearly a high character individual. Yeah. But that shows, and I think that's what John Cusack sees, right?
I could drunk drive, run someone over right now and get 5.
Yeah, right.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that guy got 7.
That's crazy. Or you could be Dante Stallworth and you're out.
And you get 20 days.
Yeah. But I mean, seriously, John Cusack sees something in this dude. He tries to get in on it. I know we're going to blow through the plot of the movie because it doesn't matter,
Who cares?
right? Like,
You've seen it. We've all seen it.
We've all seen the movie.
Who cares?
But John Cusack sees something. They raid Cyrus the Virus's cell, see all kinds of stupid crap.
Yeah.
Blows up. But he knows that Cameron Poe's a good dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I learned something, by the way, watching the documentary. So they don't tell these dudes that they're going on a plane trip until like the day of.
Oh, so they don't have a plan to...
So they don't have a time to plan or like tell someone on the outside that, hey, I'm going to be here, X, Y, and Z.
hijack this plane
or whatever. So I wonder how long like he knew he was going to take this flight because he like had the book, he had the schematics, the plan to pull this off. Like this seems like months in the
There
making.
had to be an inside man.
Yeah.
There had to be an inside man.
Right.
Because I don't know how you would get that stuff.
Yeah.
So are you on the side of Vince Larkin when you see something in Cameron Poe? You gotta get him on your side. He's telling them, this guy is good. There must be something in here. He's trying to help out.
Yeah, well, it's really just a hunch. He's working on a hunch theory, which is kind of suspect.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you took the time to read his rap sheet and see who he was, you could tell that, all right, this guy's not violent. He's been an exemplary prison guy. Like, he hasn't caused any fights. He's been very, low key. Interviewed his wife. Great guy. It's his last day. He's got no reason to do anything wrong. He's getting out.
I mean, it adds up. And
yeah. Why didn't he just get off the plane when he had the chance? Because he's trying to do some heroic shit.
Duncan Malloy's like, I don't care. They're all scumbags.
Yeah. He's trying to blow the plane out of... In all reality, though, they should have blown the plane up.
Probably
they probably should have blown the plane up. You don't want all those psychos being loose.
Is that worst case scenario? I mean, that's like worse than a prison break because they can fly anywhere.
Yeah, they were over the Grand Canyon. Just shoot the plane down. I know there's guards on there. Some of them might be still alive, but just shoot the damn
So
plane
if
down.
I'm on there, you're shooting the plane down?
You have to. Like, I feel like you have to.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
But can't they
like
just...
How, like really on the morality scale, how off is that? Is that bad?
I think they can't shoot it down.
If there's one guard.
I think
we know at the very least the female guard is alive and all there.
Yeah.
And
I don't think they would do it.
The other guy, I don't know if the other guards were living.
That other guy was alive. He just had a punched out face.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
They beat him up, they knocked him out. I think they tied him up.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't think they would do it.
They have 3 guards. They have 3 guards.
I don't think you can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're right. That's the answer, but I don't think they do it. I don't think you can.
Man. Don't give me the red button.
Don't give the button.
Don't give me the button.
Don't be a guard on that plane.
Make the hard
decisions.
decisions. I'll make the hard decisions, man.
No, I mean, you're right, but they could fly anywhere.
Yeah.
They took the transponder out, so they don't know where they are. But
Right.
I feel like they could find him. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, they could find him somewhere.
They found at the end they found him.
But that's what I'm saying.
Once they
like,
realized Poe had the plane, they're like, all right, let him go.
What do you think about just the idea of this? I feel like it's, I don't know, like tracking them, John Cusack stealing this guy's Corvette, the plane flying with it. I mean, I know
awesome.
we're blowing
Great
through
part.
all this, but I don't want to lose sight of how awesome this is.
Yeah.
Like, it's so ridiculous that it's so fun. This
I
movie's fun.
I thought it lulled a little bit in like the at the end of the second act in the junkyard
when they landed the plane.
Yeah, I thought it lulled a little bit, and the whole mission to find the freaking the
insulin
the
shot,
syringe. I was like, all right, what are we doing here?
You also saw he's a good guy because
Yeah.
he sees that guy under the truck. He's like, "Ha, friend."
Yeah, when the cops finally got there, that's when it started to pick up.
It was kind of stupid, and the convicts dug the plane out.
Yeah,
like, come
I don't
on.
know. I don't know how flyable that plane was.
That was not flyable at all.
Whatever. I'm
crashed.
willing to look past that, but
blow past that. This big ending. I mean, I don't know. Should we? I'm blowing over everything. Are we?
Yeah.
Is it
Honestly,
worth it?
can we be real though? Like, they probably could have chopped 20 minutes out of this movie by not having that guy have diabetes.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
It humanizes Poe. I guess the motivation is that it gives Poe a reason to do something heroic and not leave.
Yeah. Well, the only reason Poe didn't leave is because A, his friend, and B, the female prison guard.
That's true.
So he was
'Cause
trying to
she was
protect
nice.
both of them. Those were the only 2 reasons. Is the guard is saving the guards' lives not reason enough for him to stay on, or did he need the friend also?
I think you're right. They probably could have done one or the other, not
Yeah.
both. And they probably wasted time doing that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean,
I'm not here to nitpick. It was a great movie, but I'm saying that it drug a little bit for me.
2-hour movie.
Yeah.
You could probably chop 20 minutes off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, you could.
Yeah, you could. Unless you're Zack Snyder.
I knew you were going there. I'm gonna cut that out.
We need all these scenes.
I'm gonna cut that out.
We need all of these scenes, guys. 4 hours.
What I do find hilarious is how John Cusack pulls a Val Kilmer as Bruce Wayne and pulls a clock, chess pawn. Enigma.
Yeah.
Edward Nigma
He
is the
figured it
Riddler.
out in the jail cell in 3 seconds,
In
didn't he?
3 seconds. He
Yeah.
found it out immediately. He looked like a one little scratch on the wall and he
Yeah.
saw a hole. The guy's got his thing and they pulled a bomb out. It's so stupid. I thought that was dumb.
That was great.
It's,
No.
whatever.
Great
Just
call.
find him in.
Great call.
He pulls the Val Kilmer. So anyway, I want to talk about this last scene here where the plane is like flying and crashes into the Hard Rock Cafe in Vegas.
Yes.
What's up with that?
I don't know. I'm glad they did it. It was awesome.
It seemed like a great way to end the movie.
Yeah. How else? Like, how are you going to like what's your finale when you have these fantastical, action in the flight and then you're in the junkyard? Like, you got to have like some stakes to land the plane, right? You can't just land the plane and surrender, right?
Yeah, I mean, and I just wish more people like died in the plane crash, and
And
not civilians.
And of course they were low on fuel because every plane in the sky is low on fuel.
Yeah,
So
they should have had a refueling scene instead of getting the needle.
Yeah.
It should have been a refueling mid-flight. You know, like in the other movies.
Who did that? Like, it was
Wasn't that an Air Force One or one of
Something like
those?
that, yeah.
Something like that. But they do that, right? You have
Yeah,
the
of course.
plane come up and you got to refuel midair. I think that would be the way to go.
that's the way to go.
So anything else you want to say about the plot of this thing? Like, I think we covered most of it.
It doesn't really
there's
matter.
no
The
plot.
people know the plot. I mean, there's cons on a plane, and they hijack the plane, and that's the end of it. And
If you
they get caught.
If you haven't seen it, you should
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
And
And this is not a place to listen about what cool shit happened when. you know?
So where does it rank as a Nicolas Cage movie? I think we talked about this. I don't even remember what episode number it is. We talked about some. Maybe it was National Treasure.
Well, we change minds every once in a while. So
revisit your ranking. I mean, you don't have to give me your top 5, but
Yeah.
like where do just generally?
as far as like action movies go, this might be at the top of the Nick Cage action movies, right?
Yeah, it's
Like-
up there with Face Off to me.
Yeah. I guess Face Off's an action movie.
Yeah.
I suppose.
I like this.
National
probably-
Treasure is an action movie, or is it an adventure movie?
It's an adventure.
adventure
like,
movie.
It's a mystery movie.
Yeah, it's a family adventure,
Family adventure.
family mystery adventure.
Disney.
Okay, so it's not an action movie.
There's action in it,
yeah.
but it's not an action movie.
So, gun to your head, you're allowed to have one movie to watch for the rest of your life. Would it be National Treasure or Con Air?
Con Air.
All right. Would it be Con Air or Face Off?
Face Off.
Face Off or National Treasure?
Face Off.
Would it be Lord of War or Bad Lieutenant 2?
Ooh, that's hard.
Yeah,
Gun to my head. Lord of War is so good.
yeah, it is.
But Bad Lieutenant
Jared Leto,
is so ridiculous.
But Bad Lieutenant, he's unhinged.
I think I'm going Lord of
Yeah.
War.
Would you go?
Lord of War is so good. It's a great movie. If you
Yeah.
haven't watched that, you should watch that movie.
Yeah. Underrated. You still haven't seen 8mm, have you?
No, I haven't.
We're watching 8mm.
We should do that one.
We probably shouldn't do that one,
We shouldn't do that
but
one.
you should watch it.
I've never seen it. Call me crazy.
It's not a
but
movie. It's not a movie to make light of, but
Yeah.
it's a great movie.
I've not seen it, but add that to my Cage
Yeah.
repertoire.
I don't know. Let's see. What's the Bees movie? Not the Bees.
The
Not the
Wicker
Bees.
Man.
Wicker Man. Would you rather Wicker Man or?
I never saw that actually, which I
Don't
don't
watch
think I could.
Don't
I
watch
don't
it.
think I could watch that.
It's all right. But
That's a
don't watch it.
remake too.
Yeah.
Speaking of remakes, yeah, I don't know. What about you? This or Face Off?
Face Off.
Yeah, Face
Yeah.
Off's so good.
Face Off might be my favorite Cage movie.
It's
It
probably
might not be the best, but it's my favorite.
I would argue that he's probably his best acting in that,
Yeah,
even more than what he won for Leaving Las Vegas.
he was really good at bringing out the dead.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've ever seen that one, the
You-
one where he's an ambulance driver. It's a Scorsese movie.
you know what? It's a great movie is Vampire's Kiss. Is so
Yeah.
underrated.
Oh yeah, we were watching that as a goof, but
was
it
a
turned
good
into just a
movie.
good movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it's ridiculous.
It's just a good movie.
Yeah, I know it's ridiculous, but like it was damn good.
What's that movie where he's spreading black paint all over himself?
I
From
forget the name of
the
it.
Cage loses his shit. That video
Yeah.
on YouTube.
I actually haven't seen it. Well, I just know it from. I just feel like
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen it through that clip.
You've seen
right?
it. You've seen that. You've seen
Yeah.
it all. So,
But
okay.
but those of you at home, like if you want to do your Nick Cage homework, and if you haven't seen 8mm, please watch 8mm. It's not easy to watch. It's a difficult movie to watch, but it's like really good, and he's really good in it.
he gets a lot of shit,
Yeah.
but he's a good actor when he
Yeah.
has the time to put himself into a
Oh, yeah.
role. I know I'm going to get crap for saying that, but he actually is good.
And also Bringing Out the Dead. I know people don't like mention those movies too much when you talk about like, crazy Nick Cage and all his like bad acting and all that, but those are two like dark movies where he really like lets his dramatic powers shine.
Yeah. I mean, I really do feel, all jokes aside, like he was a good actor. He just oversaturated himself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And We know that it was a money grab. It's a money grab. It's fine. Everybody goes through it.
You know what movie, before we move on, one movie that I haven't seen by him, but I want to see, Joe. I heard that was really good, but I haven't seen it.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So let's rank this.
Also, The Weatherman.
I never saw that either.
Weatherman is awesome.
I never saw that either.
He's like a depressed family man. It's pretty.
What about Adaptation?
That was all right.
I never saw that.
It got more credit than it deserved. I felt it was all right.
So let's talk a little bit about how this compares against not just Nic Cage movies.
Yeah.
Let's talk about airplane movies.
I love this idea.
Yeah, just airplane movies in general.
Idea.
So I'll give you this or the other one.
Okay.
And you tell me which you prefer.
All right.
Con Air or Air Force One?
Con Air.
Yeah, me too.
Air Force One is really good, but I haven't rewatched it that much.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen it maybe once.
Harrison Ford's awesome.
Yeah.
Con Air or Snakes on a Plane?
Con Air. Snakes on the Plane's a novelty.
And it's a kind of a ripoff of this, sort of.
Yeah, it was great. It was great to watch in the theater, but there's no need to rewatch.
Con Air or Flight? That's the
Con
Denzel
Air.
one, right?
Never saw Flight.
Where he's drunk.
Yeah, drunken plane.
Drunken plane.
Drunken billionaire
Up
birds.
there
Not
with
Home.
Randy Quaid and drunken crop dusting.
Better drunken flyer. Denzel in Flight or Randy Quaid in Independence Day.
I feel like at least Randy Quaid's done it like thousands of times.
Yeah.
And crop dusting, it's just you if you're gonna die, or maybe
Yeah.
you'll crash into a house. But you're flying a airliner.
That's messed up.
dangerous.
You're holding other people's lives. It's like drunk driving, but worse.
I never saw the movie, so I don't know whether he's actually drunk or not. But
Pretty sure he's drunk.
what about Con Air or Flight Plan?
Flight Plan. Flight Plan is an underrated movie.
I never saw that.
Was it Julianne Moore or was it Jodie
It's
Foster?
Jodie Foster.
It's one of those two. But not Amy Adams.
Yeah,
It's definitely not Amy Adams. No, that's a great movie. Great. I throw great around. It's okay.
It's okay. it's great.
Yeah.
A+.
I went from like a 9 to it's a 3.
You're doing the Drew scale here.
Yeah.
This is the 9 out of 10. A terrible movie. 9 out of 10.
Yeah, Con Air for sure.
Con Air or Passenger 57? Ooh, I hit a spot here.
I love Wesley Snipes.
He's awesome.
Call me crazy, man. I'm going Passenger 57.
Yeah. You know, I've never seen that.
We got to watch back to back Passenger 57, 8mm.
Would you say Airplane Month?
Yeah, it's good. We're gonna do airplane. We're gonna do airplane month here in the last row. So we're gonna do this. We got Con Air. Then we're gonna do Passenger 57. Then we're gonna do Drop Zone, which is not quite an airplane movie, but he jumps out of airplanes a lot in it.
I never saw that one.
That's not an official lineup of our episodes.
What about
Passenger 57 is awesome though. Awesome.
Con Air or Final Destination? It's not really an airplane movie.
That's kind of.
There's an airplane in it.
Maybe it's an airplane. Definitely Con Air. But Final Destination, great movie. Great
Con
concept.
Air or Die Hard 2? It's not really an airplane movie.
Not really. It's more of an airport movie.
Airplane.
Like the terminal.
Yeah, the terminal. Oh, don't jump ahead.
Con Air for sure.
Con Air.
Whoa.
Die Hard 2 is great. Die Hard.
It's underrated. People don't talk about it. They talk about 1 or 3. They don't talk about 2.
2 is kind of like, you're the middle child. You're kind of like, you're not the oldest. You're not the youngest. You're kind of forgotten. Die Hard 2
Die Hard 2 might be better than Con Air.
It's probably better.
It's probably better. Yeah.
Bruce Willis is probably better than Nick.
It's just Con Air has more characters in it, but
yeah.
Die Hard 2 is better.
What about Con Air or Red Eye?
Con Air.
Red Eye's not great.
Red Eye wasn't good, was it? Wasn't very good, was it?
I watched it.
It's got Scarecrow in it. I feel like the only reason we watched it was because it had Scarecrow in it.
Yeah, that guy.
It was right after Batman Begins.
I actually like that guy as an actor.
He kind of went away, didn't he?
Yeah, he's not really in much.
Yeah.
Con Air or Nonstop?
Whew.
Never saw that.
Nonstop. It's got a lot of twists in it.
PG-13, right?
Yeah. Doesn't matter though. It's like a whodunit, and I was really confused by it. I didn't know who done it. I'm not going to spoil it. I kind of don't remember who done it.
But you don't remember?
No, I remember now. But like, it's like good. It has good twists.
I like Liam Neeson, but he started to oversaturate himself. He got into Nicolas Cage territory there.
I might like it better than Con Air though. Like, call me
Really?
crazy. Call me crazy.
I'll have to watch this.
Because you get blinded by the hair, Nicolas Cage, and like John Malkovich. But like, Nonstop is really freaking good.
I gotta watch that.
Really good. Con Air's still better.
What about? I'll go through a couple of these quick, so we're at the end of the list here.
Yeah.
Con Air or Turbulence?
Turbulence. Con Air. Ray Liotta's not moving the needle for me.
Con Air. We'll go through the trilogy here. Yeah. Con Air or Turbulence 2, Fear of Flying.
Never saw it. No, not necessary.
Con Air or Turbulence 3, Heavy Metal.
Seen it multiple times. Was a Cinemax special. It's like, if you love bad movies and you love airplanes and you love heavy metal, you gotta watch that movie.
So you talk about, we talk about Mortal Kombat, Annihilation looking like a porno version of itself. I looked up some pictures of that movie. That movie looks like a low budget porn.
Yeah, the
parody.
dude's like he's like a Marilyn Manson clone or whatever,
God,
and
it
like
looks so weird.
the guy gets like the place taken by a Satanist or whatever. It's like a whole convoluted story, but it's awesome. That takes place entirely on a plane,
Yeah.
and he's like a terrorist. It's an awesome.
That's
movie.
pretty awesome playing a metal concert in the air on a plane.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the logistics of that, but it sounds awesome. It's up there with Shark Attack 3 Megalodon, which is one of our friend Paul's favorite movies. I remember that movie. I'll go through a couple of these here real quick. The Langoliers, you ever see that?
Never saw it.
It's pretty bad, but it's entertaining.
Con Air's better.
It's got Balky Bartakamoose in it.
He's in that and Perfect Strangers
Yeah.
and Beverly Hills Cop, and that's it.
What about another Cage airplane movie, Left Behind?
Is it a Cage airplane movie or
Yeah.
is it a Kirk Cameron?
Kirk
airplane
Cameron
movie?
wrote it, but
Yeah.
Nic Cage, that's a remake, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Cameron was in the original one too. I can't say I've seen it.
I never saw
the
it.
religious movie.
It was on Netflix.
Yeah.
I had no desire to watch
Yeah.
it. Executive Decision.
Definitely Con Air, but Executive Decision, not bad. I feel like I've only seen it like once though.
I feel like they tricked Steven Seagal into dying.
Yeah, I feel like I'm bitter about that.
How could he be in that movie and agree to die in like 5 minutes?
Yeah, it's paycheck.
Yeah, but he's got too much pride.
One day
for
on
that.
set.
What about The Terminal? It's not an airplane movie.
It's not really an airplane movie. It's more like Die Hard. But
Yeah, it's an airport movie.
it's one of those movies where it's like, I guess I liked it. Kind of dull.
It was like Oscar bait, but
It didn't really.
I liked
Didn't
it.
really take, did it?
Yeah.
They didn't bite.
Not really.
They weren't biting that day.
And the last one, Con Air or Airplane. It's like
Airplane.
not. They're not even the same at
They're
all.
great movies. They don't make them like they used to, man.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen. They don't make them like they used to.
I had a list of trivia that I was gonna go through, but instead of going through that, I'll just give you one piece of trivia.
Yeah, well,
and
hold
I'll-
on. What's your favorite airplane movie?
Oh,
Do you like any of those other than Con Air or no?
maybe Die Hard 2. I probably not, honestly.
Because Die Hard 2 is not really an airplane movie.
Yeah, I'm not going to rate it against it. Die Hard 2 is equally as good in a
Yeah.
different genre of an
Yeah.
airport movie.
Yeah.
I think Con Air is better than all of these. I haven't seen Nonstop. I haven't seen some of these, so I would say that Con Air is the best one.
So there you have
Maybe.
it, folks. Best airplane movie of all time, besides possibly Passenger 57. Drew hasn't seen it to confirm my take.
We'll give it the last row best airplane movie of all time award.
We'll put it on there. We'll write it in pencil, though.
Yeah, pencil it in.
We'll have to ink it in after Drew sees Passenger
Yeah.
57.
I may think that's better, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
I don't think you will.
So yeah, but like I said, I had some trivia that I want to go through. I know we're running out of time. I'll post the link.
We're out of time.
I'll post the link. But what I do want to do is tell you one piece of trivia, which we didn't really talk about in the movie. Do you know this bunny?
This bunny.
This bunny?
Buddy.
Casey, I got this bunny
Put
for
the
you.
buddy back in the box.
So the bunny, when interviewed, Nicolas Cage said that he came up with this idea. This was his idea.
All right.
There's a quote. He says, "I'm proud of that. The whole bunny thing was mine. I wanted that to be symbolic of all the pain and loss that he had gone through just for protecting his pregnant wife, protecting her too well, and getting thrown into prison." Cage also said he contributed to the detail of Cameron Poe being a Southerner. They have a strong sense of chivalry when it comes to women.
I knew it.
So I should have read that earlier, but I just
knew
pasted
it.
it in.
I guessed it. I didn't even know that.
You did. What do you think of that bunny thing?
It confirms our beliefs that Cage
Yeah.
has a lot of say in these movies.
He does.
Right?
But
I wonder
what-
if all actors, like big name actors, have this kind of pull.
At this
You know?
point in his career, maybe.
Like, I don't know the facts, but maybe this is right. Maybe this is common knowledge. Maybe I'm being a bad podcast host. But did they write Con Air with Cage in mind as Poe, or did they cast him after the fact? Because if they wrote this movie for Cage, then he would have like these. He could take liberties, right?
Yeah. I don't know if that was the case, but I do know on this fact list, they said that the part where we talked about miscast, Steve Buscemi and Cusack, the parts were written for them because
Okay.
they had them in mind.
Cusack
Bad.
didn't do anything special.
Right. That's
Right.
not, I don't understand why they picked them. But
Buscemi's very Buscemi.
that was another fact. I could see
Yeah.
Buscemi because Buscemi's the kind of guy that you're like, get me Steve Buscemi,
Yeah, sure.
you know? So anyway, those are a couple of the facts.
Yeah, interesting.
Let's
All right.
end it with your overall movie rating. We do
Oh,
this kind of a
geez.
joke here.
All right. Well, all right. Let's. So I gave like Speed an 11 out of 10. I feel like
Yeah.
Speed's better than this.
Speed is better than this
Yeah.
movie.
So I can't give it an 11, but I can give it like a 9.2.
Yeah.
And then you add 0.3 points for the hair.
Yeah.
And then you take away 0.4 points for the accent. So we're at an 8.9.
I'm definitely saying 9 out of 10 because it's just,
It's an 8.9.
I judge movies by like, can you rewatch it and not be bored?
Right.
And like you said at the beginning of the show, I was a little like worried about this because I haven't
we
seen
gotta
it in a
watch
while.
this. Like, oh, it's great. It's
You know,
just as good as you remember.
You want to watch it, but then when you start to watch it, you're like, eh. And then, within the 5 minutes in the movie.
Yeah.
He shows up. I was in.
As soon as he slapped the wig on, it was go time. So we got some emails as the listener love. I guess I have to read these, right, Drew? Do I have to?
You have to. They took the time.
I'm just kidding. My voice is tired.
He's given up friends for listeners here.
All right, so at the risk of like being the most long episode of all time ever, we have a story from this female listener named Chelsea. Wrote us an email entitled "I Hate You."
When I got that email, I was like, "Who's writing this to us?"
Yeah, it's one of our like 4 female listeners, right?
I thought somebody legitimately hated us at first.
So I'm gonna run through this really quick. It's a good story. It's a little long, but it's a good story. After yesterday, I felt compelled to write you guys. Picture this. Should I do this in the Cage accent? No.
Unless she talks like that.
No. Do you think she's a Southern Belle?
Maybe.
I head to the gym to do a run-in on the treadmill. I like a particular treadmill because the TV's 5-6 feet away, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I could just zone out. So she's on the treadmill. She's watching this TV, right? And she's listening to our podcast. The long story short. It's about Blank Check. Time is flying. Things feel great. You guys are cracking me up. The treadmill feels like a little bit less of a torture device. I catch myself as I'm about to laugh out loud, but then I've got an ear-to-ear smile. Then I glimpse and I see the TV and realize they've got the news on. The story, to put it mildly, is not a happy one. Not one that you want to have the entire gym see you smiling ear to ear about. So basically, it looks like I'm laughing about these horrible events, and it's all thanks to you and your hysterical podcast. Thank you, Chelsea.
I appreciate that.
Next time I run to the gym listening to you guys, I'm putting up a sign that says, I'm listening to the podcast. I'm not actually watching the TV. Keep up the amazing work. You guys are so funny. Thanks, Chelsea.
I am sorry if we got you in trouble.
So when there's riots going on in the streets and people are losing their lives and you're laughing, we know you're not a psychopath. You're not John Malkovich. You're not Cyrus the Virus. You're just listening to The Last Row. It's cool.
I appreciate that. Thanks for taking the time to write us an email.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the good stuff. Hopefully, she gave us a 5-star review on Apple iTunes.
She did.
What do you call it these days?
Apple Podcasts?
Apple Podcasts?
Yeah.
Great villains. Subject from Nick. Hi, guys. You always have such interesting insights about movies that I'd like to hear your thoughts on. It seems movies of the action, adventure, sci-fi genres that I most enjoy and watch again and again have one thing in common. An antagonist with a well-developing storyline is featured prominently throughout the movie. Do you agree or not? Drew, do you agree?
Absolutely.
I agree too. What are some examples where a great villain elevated the movie as a whole? Which otherwise forgettable movies could have been great if only for a stronger presentation of the villain role? Always looking forward to episodes. Love, hugs, and kisses. Nick.
He did not write that.
He probably did write that.
No, I have the obvious answer. The obvious answer.
So what great movies are elevated by Ray Villain?
The obvious and only answer.
I know what you're going to say.
Is Con Air. Just kidding. No, it's my number one choice is The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say Dark Knight, and I agree.
I'm a fanboy, right? But Heath Ledger was so good in that movie. It was a great movie on its own, but it was an excellent film because of his performance. I feel like it took it over the top.
What if Jared Leto was the Joker in The Dark Knight?
With that style of Joker? With
all right, for argument's sake, say yes. Say he was like, punk rock Joker.
Then I think it would have been in the latter category.
Do you think it would have been bad?
Yes.
Would it have ruined the movie?
I think it would have because it wouldn't have fit.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have been that way because it just wouldn't have worked.
Say Jared Leto played it straight, like straight Joker.
Then maybe it could have worked.
He's a good actor. It would have worked, but would it have been regarded as this masterpiece of comic movies? You
know what they say, like lightning in a bottle?
Yeah.
Like that was Heath Ledger's performance. And I know this has been beaten to death.
Of course.
It's just been beaten to death, but it's beaten to death because it's true.
Yeah.
And I feel like on the contrary, the second piece that he said, like which one is a bad movie that didn't really have a villain?
No, what's a good movie that could have been elevated by a better villain?
Okay. I would say Suicide Squad is an example. Like it's not really a good movie. It's an entertaining movie and I enjoyed it on some level. A lot of people say it's a bad movie. It wasn't awful to me, but I didn't really love it.
Right.
But that movie had no villain. It was just like shoot a laser in the sky, Like that's the type of thing that there isn't a Heath Ledger in that. There was nobody.
We had a podcast on this and we talked about this at length, but I felt like that movie had a couple really great scenes in it and some great ideas, but it's just the story went nowhere and the end was terrible.
That's
where and the villain is the problem. There's no villain.
There wasn't a villain. There wasn't a compelling reason. I mean, I don't know. Do you have any others? Like,
this is controversial in our circle, but I'm going to say partially with this answer is Ghostbusters 2. Now, I love Vigo. I love the idea of Vigo. I thought the character of Vigo, when he was sitting in that painting was very well written. Testament to the writers. Testament to, to Aykroyd, and testament to
Ramis,
rest in peace. Ivan Reitman. They wrote that character brilliantly while he was in the painting, right?
Yeah.
The legend of Vigo lives on, literally staring at us at the wall.
It was.
But when Vigo jumped out of that painting at the end of the movie, it was a huge letdown, was it not?
So do you think he came out of the painting too soon, too late?
It was, well...
Like, should he have come out of the painting?
Maybe not. Like, maybe Yano should have turned into him. I don't know. Because when he came out, he was just some blonde asshole.
Yeah.
And he picked up a baby, and then he got squirted with some ooze, and then he died.
He looked tougher in the like his. I'm looking at his face right now. Like I'm looking at the wall.
Why couldn't they have the actor? It's not the same guy that's in the painting.
Well, they like painted him after him, but I guess they like painted a
Wasn't
picture.
Good. No, I want that exact guy. I want the portrait.
Like
anyway,
when I see that picture, you ever see the behind the scenes picture of that guy sweeping the floor?
Yeah.
That's what he looks like to me. He looks like a guy sweeping the floor.
Yeah, he does.
He's like holding a baby.
But like I know he was like quote unquote out of the painting, like in like the spirit of Janos when Janos took the Oscar and all that. Janos had the googly eyes.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was weak, and it took away. I felt like people have their opinions on Ghostbusters too, and sometimes you can't change people's minds about it whether it's a good movie or not. I think it's a great movie. It's underrated.
It's underrated.
Yeah, but I think it would have been elevated had Vigo been even better.
People put Ghostbusters 2 in the company of like the worst movie of all time, and I couldn't
bad
disagree
sequels,
more.
but no, it's not.
It's an unnecessary sequel.
But I think like a strong finale, a better fight against Vigo or an enemy at the end, like with Gozer and the Snape of Marshmallow Man at the end of 1.
Yeah,
like for as good as 1 was, like the stakes were raised at the end of the movie with Gozer and Snape of Marshmallow Man.
I definitely agree.
And they weren't able to follow through with Vigo at the end of 2.
You know what another movie was, and this will be the last one that I say, a movie with like a great villain that elevated it too. It's already a stellar cast to begin with, but I thought Jack Nicholson in The Departed was amazing.
Yeah.
Like he raised the bar, and like Matt Damon kind of being in there too, right? He was great.
Well, everyone in that movie was great, but you're right. But some people would argue that Jack Nicholson was too cartoonish in that movie.
I liked him.
I don't agree with that. I agree with you
as the cartoony,
but I think you'll have some some people would fight you on that statement, but I agree with you.
And you know what? You really want to go with like a great villain too?
Yeah.
I lied. This is my last one. You really got to go with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin.
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
For real though.
Clearly I'm kidding. Yeah. So I don't know. Do you have any others?
Speaking of Batman, did Bane save Dark Knight Rises from being awful? Or a huge letdown?
No, I actually think he was part of the letdown for me.
I thought Bane was the best part of Dark Knight Rises.
He was all right. I think where that movie lost me, and I still like that movie a lot. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But where that movie lost me was basically he was the bitch of what's her name? Talia al Ghul.
Yeah.
Like he should have been his own guy.
Yeah,
like,
that was a bad.
They could be working together.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Like I don't like that, but I just didn't like the way that ended.
But forgetting that, like, because,
he was great. I mean, he was good.
For, 9/10 of the movie, Bane was the big bad. Every time Bane wasn't on the screen, I wanted more Bane. Just like the Joker, like when the Joker was in The Dark Knight. But I don't know. I felt like some of the Dark Knight Rises was a little dull in the non-Bane scenes.
Yeah, I mean, the recovery piece felt a little rushed.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do a whole podcast on that one, but I
thought know you can.
The voice was a little weird.
I like the voice.
I don't hate it, but I just didn't like how he wound up being basically like a sub boss. I kind of wish he was an equal boss because he was so badass and he just kind of had like this weird motivation.
It was an odd choice.
He loved her.
It was an odd choice, but I feel like I don't hold it against it because like it was at the very end and it felt tacked on.
Yeah. I got to rewatch that movie. I haven't seen it in a long time. I still love it. I mean, it's still up there. Like that trilogy holds a special place in my heart, but I definitely say I would rank them 2, 1, 3.
All right, well, thanks to Nick for making this podcast an extra 10 minutes longer and making us argue about movies.
No, that was a great,
that was good.
That was a great question. And honestly, if you guys have other questions like that, you should write in thelastrowpodcast@gmail.com. Leave us a comment on our Facebook page, facebook.com/thelastrowpod. If you haven't liked us on Facebook, hit the like button. You'll see those types of comments. We want to have some more of those discussions. We're also on Instagram. I've been trying to add stuff to our stories. We want to interact with you guys a lot more. So follow us on Instagram @thelastrowpod. Twitter, I think I said already, @thelastrowpod, wherever.
Sure,
you can find us online. Yeah. Anyway, just look for us. You'll find us. And on that note, we'll see you guys later.
So, if I were married to Cameron, I absolutely would have divorced his ass.
Yeah. Do you think there's a toilet on that plane?
Well, yeah, but how do you go?
Is there a toilet in all those seats? Maybe there's a hole in
What,
your
like
pants.
30 bedpans?
Yeah, maybe each seat has a bedpan because they don't want to.
Whose job is it to clean that up?
But imagine they hit some turbulence.